All right, let's talk about the projects a little bit. If you go to Finals Week, you will see the teachbacks are put in here, but also the final project, which is the thing that is actually due during Finals Week. So I put all the project specs here. So this is one of those projects where you can do it individually or in pairs. As always, there's pros and cons to each situation. You can pick your own data from Kaggle, or if you have data from something else, you're welcome to use that. The point of this is to use Tableau to compose a story with multiple visualizations in order to analyze the data. And I put analyze in quotes because, you know, as I said, I frame everything in terms of psychology, and analyze means running statistics such as regressions, and you won't necessarily be doing those types of analyses. These are a little bit more of the descriptive type of analyses, which we'll get into. So some specifications is that at least one visualization should include a map. This will limit the type of the data set that you select for the project. At least one visualization should use motion, and at least two of them should employ calculations. You'll see more of, as we get into each part of that, of what is required for each of those. But just keep those specifications in mind when you're trying to think about what kind of data set to use. Project ideas. I remember when I took the class, there were several people that used work data. My best friend who took the class with me, this was back when Pokemon Go was like super big. But he got data, I think, off of Kaggle, where he mapped the there's geodata on there about like where each of the little critters pop up. So that was the mapping feature, and the point of the database was to help you like go to the place where each of the Pokemon were most likely to show up, and also show you how many of each ones you needed to get at what power levels and stuff like that. So yeah, so you can use goofy data like that, or whatever. Okay, so for the write-up, there's no word limits or anything. Basically, the write-up should have a business justification. So explain to me what is going on. If you have jargon, like, okay, I understand Pokemon Go, but you can't assume that every professor does, right? So yeah, explaining jargon and things like that in there. Document how and where you got the data. So if it's from Kaggle, explain that, give me the link, things like that. Talk about any data prep that was required. I expect there to be a lot of data prep to be required for most data sets, unless it's been something that you've used elsewhere and is previously cleaned. For each of the visualizations, I need to explain why you chose them, and then analyze the output of them, and then wrap up with the typical what went well, what did not go well, and what would you do differently next time analysis. The presentation, I'm gonna actually have you use the Tableau's shared dashboard feature. So the link, like, we'll have it online, so all of your classmates can also look at your presentation. So make sure that you're not using data that isn't okay for stuff like that. You should talk about the business problem, about the data, about the visualizations you chose, very much what I just said for the write-up. Show and interpret the results, especially what business decisions can you make from the output of the data, and then the 3 W's again. Okay, so as we go along in the class, you'll get a little bit better understanding, like I said, about these. If you're already thinking in your mind, how many visualizations do I need? Well, you actually don't need a lot as long as you fill those out, but in order to really flesh out the story that your data has, you'll want to do like a few visualizations. So I expect some people to be very minimal and only do a few, and some people to go overboard and do a lot. Yeah, I might, as we get along in the class, might decide to be a little bit more specific about a minimum number here, but as it stands, basically I just want you to show me that like this is the cumulative of the class. So the more visualizations, the better. It also just depends a lot on the data that you get, and you know, a lot of simple visualizations versus fewer complex ones, right? So I don't want to put numbers on it because I want you to just show off, and you know, it'll be a little bit, yeah, a little subjective like that. But hey, that's the way the world of work is. It is a little bit comparative. If you do something that's super simple and all of your class does something that's super complex, then it doesn't look good for you. So yeah, so we'll leave it there for now. And if we need to get more specific, we will do that.